After a night of desperate searching through the rubble, the scrap for signs of life continued. The Paktika province has faced sheer destruction, and beneath the homes made of mud, bricks and wood, it's feared many bodies remain.
Around 2,000 to 2,500 houses have been fully destroyed and many people are wounded. All the houses have been demolished and now we need tents and all the other necessary items.
The problem now is getting a sophisticated rescue operation underway in this remote mountainous region, and aid too. After a plea for international support by the Taliban, neighbouring Pakistan and Iran have sent trucks and planes packed with supplies, while several other countries say they're ready to provide assistance. But those on the ground say they need more urgently.
We ask the Islamic Emirate and the whole country to come forward and help us. We have nothing, not even a tent to live in.
Those who were airlifted to safety after the government sent helicopters are now in crowded hospitals across the region. Without a major international aid presence, treating people is proving difficult.
I've lost 26 of my family members, like my cousins and close relatives. Even my own children were killed.
We have received 35 injured until now. Most of the injured are women. There are some men and 3 children as well. Some of the injured have been transferred to the regional hospital in Ghazni province after receiving the first aid here. Rest of the injured are here and they are under our treatment.
And for those who haven't survived this catastrophic quake, this, the result. The UN, one of the very few aid agencies that remained after the Taliban takeover last year, says the country and the government aren't equipped to deal with this natural disaster. And so a country already suffering and abandoned by much of the world finds itself struggling now more than ever. Help is on its way, but it's coming in bit by bit. Getting vital supplies to these remote areas of eastern Afghanistan is clearly a challenge in itself, but it's needed now more than ever. After a plea for help to the international community, humanitarian assistance was sent by South Korea, Pakistan and India, with more pledged.
It's not only these 2 provinces of Khost and Paktika, but there have also been floodings throughout Afghanistan and many districts have been affected. Afghans are facing huge problems now.
In the capital, Kabul, they're loading up all they can to send to the areas affected, but the government here said they don't have enough. Whatever they do have has to battle challenging terrain and patchy communications to get to those who need it. It's only just over 100 miles away, but getting here from Kabul can take a whole day. And once here, this is the scene. With homes reduced to rubble, people are left with no choice other than to sleep on the ruins of where their beds once lay.
Our people are very weak financially, and they don't have work. Even in the next 20 years, they won't be able to rebuild their houses because of the financial crisis. We're calling on our government and other international organizations like NGOs to help us.
But in these disasters, it's always the children who suffer. Officials believe over 100 have so far been killed, and those who survived have now lost everything, including their family. This devastation is of course down to Tuesday's rumbling earthquake, but this was a government simply not prepared. And so as they wait for more aid, the Taliban will no doubt have to reflect on how they can engage with the rest of the world in the future to ensure when help is needed once more, they're not abandoned again. Inzamam Rashid, Sky News in Kabul.